Pokémon, the franchise that makes animal violence cool. And like a lot of franchises, it has its staple elements. Get the starter, travel the region, collect 8 gym badges, fight the evil team, beat the champ, and the one that's the topic of this video, the rivals. Pokémon rivals are a mixed bag. Some have a great personality, some are cool, some have interesting backstories, and some just plain suck. The reason why some of these suck so much, or why some don't reach their full potential, I find, is because of a condition I like to call nice rivals. Nice rivals fail a lot of the time in what they are supposed to do. Motivate to push the player forward and test their abilities throughout the story. That's why I want to analyze each rival to see what they do right and wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna start the analysis, so you might want to close the incognito tab and pay attention, or if my voice does the job for you, that can work too, I'm not gonna judge. First up, we've got the OG, the main man himself, Dickface. I mean, okay, Blue, but I mean, come on, everyone's gonna call him something like that. Blue's like the template. Blue's the character for like to mimic as a Pokemon rival. He hits every checkbox. If they literally just took Blue and copy and pasted him into every single Pokemon game after Red and Blue, it would have been way better. Like, he's challenging, check. I mean, maybe a little subjective, but mostly I'd say he is. He's a complete total asshole, check. He constantly pushes you forward, he drives you and you want to beat him, check. And then, finally, that moment at the championship when you fucking wipe the floor with him and fucking push him down into fucking depression, it's satisfying as fuck. Like, this is what every Pokemon rival should be. Silver is good. I feel like he's a step down from Blue, but he still checks those boxes of being like someone who pushes you forward and who feels like he is legit your rival and can challenge you. They do try, like, he's not really a dick as much. He's more like, he's more like emo like this, and I have daddy issues, but at least, like, it adds something more to, like, for his character, at least. Like, his connection with Giovanni being his dad, I think was a really good idea to have as, like, your rival and how he has to deal with that. But overall, he feels, as a summary, it just feels more like a step down from Blue and then gets development in his other way. But still, overall, for Gen 2 as a follow-up, he's pretty damn good. And with Gen 3, we start getting the first problems. Brendan and May are not rivals. Sure, you fight them a couple of times, but they're mostly just, I gotta help my dad fucking help him with the Pokedex, and oh, look at you, you're doing really good, I can never be as good as you. It's like, they don't push you, which is, I feel like, a big problem, and it's not helped by the only other rival you have, which is Wally. Wally sucks. Like, I've seen some people be like, oh, you know, Wally's pretty, like, he has, like, an arc. It's like, I don't give a shit about his arc. His arc sucks. Like, he's sick and cowardly. And then he doesn't do anything until he's, like, at the end. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm all strong now, and I've beaten all the gyms. Like, there's no build-up. There's so, like, he doesn't go on a journey throughout the entire story and you go with him. He just shows up. Like, I know, like, I think some people, like, but seriously, Wally fucking sucks. Like, Gen 3 is a very big step down. And we sorta continue the nice rival trend onto Gen 4. Dawn and Lucas aren't even really rivals. They literally just carry forward the, oh gosh, I gotta go help the professor complete the Pokedex, because that's interesting, I guess. And your main rival is Barry. Barry is a step up. He's not really threatening or challenging. Like, I thought this kid had ADHD as a, like, when I played it as a kid myself. Like, wow, he's always like hyper and he's like, yeah, hey dude, where are we going? We're going to the next gen. Gotta go fast. But I mean, he's nice, and he's certainly better than like some of the other ones. But like, man, I don't know. Barry just does not really amount to a lot. Yeah, the nice rival stuff really carried over onto this as well. And Gen 5 is sort of a mix. First up, I already have to admit Gen 5 is my favorite, so I have to admit my own bias. Firstly, going forward with Cheren and Bianca. Cheren and Bianca, again, aren't really like the rivals that we've seen from before, from like Blue and Silver. But I feel like they work the best. Like, with Cheren and Bianca, the whole, oh, your rivals are actually your friends angle worked the best in this game. Like, they actually, I could believe that these are like your friends and they're going along with you, with Cheren sort of being the stronger one and trying to like really have his like bigger goals and ambitions, and Bianca sort of trying to figure out, but she's like the weaker one. And I feel like that works. And we do technically have another rival in the form of N. And N's like, again, like kind of a weird bag. He's like, oh, I'm a prince and I'm running away. And I can talk to Pokémon. I can sense their feelings, their emotions. I want to liberate them so fucking hard. It's like, and he does work in a sense with the two dragons and trying to do like a prophecy. And you do sort of get that rival feeling, but I don't know, at the same time, it didn't really feel like he pushes you until like the end, where it's like, oh fuck, we're throwing down, we're sending the dragons out. It's like, hell yeah, we doing this. And that's it. And then for Black and White 2, we got Hugh, and he feels sort of like Silver again, where he does have his connections to the villain teams. But I feel like, especially with his encounters, aren't really that many. And Hugh honestly feels like a step down from what Silver was, and Silver already felt a bit like a step down from Blue. So, yeah, Gen 5 feels more like a mixed bag, but overall, an improvement from what we've seen in 3 and 4. Ooh boy, Gen 6. I remember being pretty excited about how big your friend group is and how many rivals you had, but honestly it was a detriment to the entire game. Shauna is Bianca, but worse. Trevor is smart. And Cheren, honestly, you know what? Cherno's pretty fun. Like, he's like dancing and doing fun stuff. Like, I don't know. I honestly find that Cherno's kind of fun. But the rival, like, these three do not do anything. There's just like, oh, we're best friends, we're walking around. And then they like have a little bit of fights at the beginning, and then all the way until the end, like you're like before you get to the 8th gym, then they have like teams of 3, and there are no fucking challenge to you. It does not feel completely like you went through this journey and getting stronger together and like fighting each other. Like, it's like we skip so much of this stuff. And then we have the 4th one, which is either Calem or Serena. And again, they're supposed to be the main rival. You fight multiple times, they're supposed to push you, but they're not. They're basically like, oh, like my parents, they were so good, and I'm like stepping into their shoes. But they like suck, and they just, I mean, they're not terrible, but they like, every time it's like, oh, I can't beat you, I'm so bad, like what is going on? They don't push you, and like, seriously, that's, Gen 6 fails so much in this regard. 7 was this, it feels like it's starting like a new sort of trend with how the rivals are set up, and it really feels obvious with the two rivals in 7, Hau and Gladion. Hau is the nice rival. I think he's the nicest one you get out of the entire franchise. Every time you wipe the floor with him and he's piss easy, he's just like, oh, good job, buddy. You wow, I hope I can be good as you. And he's just like going through life like stone-faced. He's fine. He's like, he's not worried by anything. He's like, oh my god, like tragic events, I don't care. I'm just going through it. Hell yeah, dude, we're going on an adventure. Fucking RANT malasadas or some shit. I don't know what he's eating. It's like, yeah, let's fucking do that shit. And then Gladion feels more like he's getting close. He's getting there to like Blue and Silver. But he doesn't reach the final, like he's not there. He's sort of like edgy, and like, oh, I want to do stuff and have mysterious motives. It's like, oh, I'm doing this for my family and shit because of like the backstory. And it's like, okay, and he has like a spastic attack on his arm for some reason. Yeah. I mean, he's edgy as shit, so that's like a plus point. That's usually a good like point for getting a villain, but like then it really feels like, okay, we have the nice one and then we have the sort of evil one, but then the evil one's not really that evil and the nice one's like obliviously nice to everything. So I feel like it was sort of like, it feels like we're going to like it feels improved, I guess, but I don't think it really fixes anything from before. Like, it feels like we're going through like the two extremes. But except like the asshole rival doesn't really go that far. Gen 8 is the reason why I felt like 7 started like a trend with how we're doing the rivals. Instead of Hau, we have Hop. And Hop's again like your childhood buddy who's like always there. And the funny thing is with this, you beat him so many times. Like, I think he's like, you fight him the most out of any rival. And again, like the smallest improvement, he gets like 1 extra Pokemon. His Pokemon's reach like 3 higher levels. You're gonna fight him. After every gym battle almost, you fight him. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna be like my brother. Except I suck. And he goes like this like depressed arc. Like, actually, you know what? I actually kind of suck. And I'm not that great. And I'm starting to like change up my team and stuff. Except now I'm better and I'm gonna improve and I'm gonna like push myself. And oh no, I suck still. And then like, oh, I'm gonna be a professor. So it feels like there was some like stuff you could have done, but like Hop just constantly feels like Hop is just like, seriously, this is my fucking react. Oh my god, like it feels like we're taking Hau and we want to put some like more competitiveness in him, and it doesn't really work, and he doesn't push at all. Like, it's just, you start feeling bad for how much you're wiping the floor with this guy and how much you're destroying his childhood dreams. Like, oh man, I start to feel bad. And then you got Marnie, and she's kind of like fucking, I'm like a fucking edgy, slightly emo-ish. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And it's like, I'm gonna do my brother. And she has these fucking, like, in this game, Marnie's like a waifu. And one of the villain teams are her fucking, like, simp army. They're fucking follow her around. It's like the soccer fans. They're obnoxious. They're like dream stands. They constantly go around, and every time you have to hear about this, like, what the fuck did they do? It's like, holy shit! She fucking walked across the road! Dude, what the fuck? It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, shut the fuck up. But no, honestly, I think Marnie's fine in herself, mostly. Like, she's sort of like a middle ground between, like, the edgy and the nice rival. And I think she's fine. I think it's okay. And then we get to Bede. And my god, I was actually interested. Like, Bede starts out this game, and he's great. Like, he's smug as fuck. His face is so punchable. Oh my god, like, seriously, I wanted my fist to marry his face. Like, and just... Fuck, man, I can't say that. Bede's like a child. No, but seriously, Bede, like, works really well as a rival. Until you get to that half point. Where he, like, fucks up and he gets eliminated from the... disqualified from the challenge. And he's like, fuck, what do I do now? And then he goes on like this path of like, okay, like I'm gonna train to be with the gym leader. I'm gonna take over for that, and I'm gonna prove to myself like I'm gonna be great. And I have to do all this. Yeah, I'm gonna try and better myself. And it feels like, again, it could work as an arc. Again, like we have to take the one asshole, and we just have to completely take that away. It's like, oh great. But it does feel like there's an arc, but it does feel a bit like, oh yeah, you're here again. Like he just drops out halfway, and it's like, oh, you're here. Oh yeah, I remember. So, again, I feel like Gen 8 is already going better. Again, it does feel like we have the nice rival and the bad rivals, and that's what we're doing now. But it does feel like an improvement. It does feel like we're going somewhere, and I feel like they want to give arcs, but they're shit at giving arcs. And they're half-assed as hell. I don't know. I mean, at least it gives some, like, hope, I feel, for the future, at least. Oh yeah, before I forget, the DLCs also added rivals, but they're basically the same with, like, slightly different flavors. Like, Toxic Twitch Thaw and Psychic Femboy Abraham Lincoln are fine. It's like, oh, we don't like you coming here because you're showing us up. Oh no, you beat me. Well, I guess I was kind of an asshole and I have to improve myself. So, it was a short little thing. I don't know. It's fine. At least they're kind of assholes, so that's good. And now we've come to the grand finale. The reason why I kind of wanted to make this video. Because, you know, we've gone through the 8 gens. But there is one other game that's technically sort of like mainline, I guess. And I feel like this is like the biggest example of this problem. Honestly, when I said earlier that Hau is like the nicest rival, he's like the biggest one, I think I lied. That's really wrong. Because 2 games came out. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And you think for these remakes, okay, we're doing different characters. It's not red and blue, and the one I actually like really want to talk about was this fucker. This fucker. This is the only character that I'm talking about in this video that I had to Google his name because I could not for the life of me remember what his name was. He is so forgettable. His name is Trace because there is no trace of good writing or a good rival anywhere in sight with this fucker. Like, his design is garbage. It's basic as shit. He doesn't push you in any way. He's constantly like, oh, hey there, dude. Like, are you okay? Like, oh, you dropped something. Oh, you took a bit of damage from my Pokemon. Here, dude, take a potion. It's fine. Here, take all my gajillion items that I spent my life savings on. My mom's in debt and she's in the hospital and she's probably gonna die, but I don't care. I just want to help you. I just want to help you, please. Just let me suck your dick. It's like, fuck. I'm having a mental fucking breakdown talking about this shit character. Oh my god. Yeah. And I find it even more insulting that because this is sort of like a remake, you go through the same like path you went with Red and Blue. Except instead of Blue, arguably the best rival in the franchise, you get this fucker. Like probably the worst one in the entire franchise. And everything he does, like every time he shows up, everywhere he goes, every time you see this fucker's name on a gym bag, I don't feel pushed. I don't feel like I'm getting like motivated. Every time I just think like this could be the time where the game allows me to grab a knife and shank this fucker. Like, oh my god. And then the most insulting thing is you get to the champion. You get to that point. You beat Lance. And then he says that someone beat him before you did. And instead of it being Blue, the guy who's been one step ahead of you throughout the entire game has pushed you and motivated you and been a giant prick. It's this asshole. This asshole was the champion before you. He went through all that stuff. And you fight him, and he sucks! They just give him everything that Blue did. But he's nothing. Like, literally, they could have made a better rival if instead of him, they had a gray placement box with like a gray texture on it that said, insert rival here. And it would have been a better and more interesting rival than this fucker. Oh my god. I mean, at least he's not the most recent one, but seriously, Trace is everything wrong with, like, rivals in this franchise. Everything. And it's even more insulting that he takes the place of the best one that we've gotten. So yeah, I really hope that the Gen 9 doesn't fuck rivals up. It does seem like they want to, like, have a nice rival and a sort of dick rival. And I hope they go further with that. Honestly, I'm all up for someone who's even, like, more annoying or evil, like, dickish than Bede was. As long as there's a rival like that, I can I could survive another Trace being in the next game. As long as there's someone who's, like, Blue's level of dickishness and, like, pushing you. Ah, man. But I guess that means the Gen 9 has to be good, and what are the odds of that?